PSA. Sports in my blood like DNA. We grinding for the chip like Frito-Lay. And I'm gon' let you know if he don't play. I promise this show will never be a bore. Checking out talent from Sea Keys to North Shore. All the way to North Shore. It'll never be a gimmick. Was at Aldine, now I'm at Nimitz. Kings in the city, we gon' need to wear a crown. You can bet us now, we the livest in H-Town. So while you tipping in your slab or your Chevy, or you chillin' in your
Hello. Happy Tuesday to everyone out there, y'all. It's 7 o'clock in H-Town, and it's time to vent. I'm your host, Gentre Williams, joined by Darrian Valsin, man. How's it going?
I'm good, man. Never better. A little late, but we in it. Let's get into it.
Yeah, we're going to get right into it. I was a little late started. We do apologize for the delay. We were just getting everything together for you guys. And as you guys may know, Game 6 is tonight of the NBA Finals between the Milwaukee Bucks and the Phoenix Suns. I'm looking at this game for Chris Paul. Like, he has to come away with the win, or he's never going to ever see this opportunity again. This is literally his last opportunity, in my opinion.
Yeah, you just speaking in absolutes, man. Just telling the future, huh? But yeah, I agree. It's do or die. You know, and we talked about it last week. He knows it might not be tomorrow for him. This is the one opportunity. So I do expect him to come out with a lot of energy. I do expect him to play hard. Now, how it goes, we'll see. If Milwaukee is hot like they were from the second quarter on into the end of Game 5, then it's going to be a long night, and Milwaukee's going to be celebrating in the middle of that court with their Larry O'Brien.
Yeah, and I'm just, looking forward, is hypothetically speaking, if Giannis does end up winning a championship, the NBA would kind of almost have like a new shift of face of the league. If you look at Luka Doncic, the hype going on behind him, Giannis Antetokounmpo winning MVPs, Defensive Player of the Year, then you got Nikola Jokic winning the MVP this year. International players, they're starting to become more and more the face of the NBA.
Well, I would agree that, honestly, definitely Giannis takes a spot as the next face of the NBA.
Does he though?
As well, as for the future.
Is he more the face of the NBA than says? I'm just speaking on star powers.
Sure, what I'm saying is he kind of leads that new era.
Okay.
Like, it's going to be the dawning of a new era with him winning and having that coronation. Right. So I can see that. Now, in terms of your point about international players,
this year, international players. Oh, we do.
All right. Yeah, some technical issues, but we're good. But to your point on international players, I kind of see that. I don't know if it's a new age of international players where everybody, because you have just those two big names, Luka and Giannis. And, Jokic too? Yeah, he's winning MVP. So, I do agree, but you still have your American-born players because obviously this is American League.
Right.
But, it's good for the game. You have international flavor. You have international superstars from all over different well, they're all three from Europe, ain't they? Jokic,
Doncic, and Giannis.
Yeah. Well, Giannis he's of African descent.
Right.
He's Greece. But it's only good for the game.
Yes. It only helps the game expand, across all the, countries and continents here. And seeing guys, contribute to the NBA from all over the world. Yeah. And, that was, harpens back to the Dream Team when those guys went over there, just how, since they went over there and just how many international players picked up the game and how it's really, changed the game worldwide.
Yeah, it's back in '92 when they went down there and blew everybody out by about 50.
They was doing people
getting autographs from the opposing team. Yeah, because I watched the documentary, but it did a lot. They was
taking pictures, like they'll be like,
because they were fans. They were fans. I mean, I remember seeing when Michael Jordan was walking on the corner in Barcelona, and like he's walking past the store corner, and like the camera shoots out, it pans out, and it's this big old mural of him. So them dudes were treated like guys up there. But seeing them play, you got a lot of guys who became fans. Like, perfect example, Dirk Nowitzki.
Yes.
Did you know that he wore that 41 because Charles Barkley's Olympic number was 14, and he just switched it?
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah, so it started with the Dream Team, and
I remember Barkley trying to recruit Dirk to Auburn.
Yeah, he said that. He said he was going to try to pay whatever it took.
Yeah, he was going to pay Dirk anything.
But it just goes to show you that the type of impact the Dream Team had, and we're seeing that really come into fold with the international talent, and not just because there's always been international guys, always. Right. For decades now, but we're seeing a new level of talent that these guys are becoming the top 2-3 players in the league.
MVPs of the league, defensive player. Rudy Gobert even
Mm-hmm. Well, that's. I'm not going to get into that. He can block. He's a great defender.
He's a great rim protector, but you know, in the playoffs, I noticed a lot of teams with talented guards, they go right at him.
Yeah, because he's not that mobile.
Right.
He's just incredible wingspan and stuff like that. But I mean, yeah, I'm not going to disparage her. That's not nice.
So I was looking around the NBA rumor mill, and I remember us talking about the Damian Lillard trade news, and I kind of just threw it out there with the Rockets possibly could make a deal with the number 2 pick. The Rockets are serious. There's been reports that the Rockets are one of the more aggressive teams in pursuing Damian Lillard.
Really?
Yes. We are one of those teams that are heavily. I don't agree with it.
I don't either.
We have the 2nd pick, the 23rd pick, and the 24th pick.
Yeah.
And if you're Portland, to go into a whole new if I'm the Rockets, I'd rather just take Jalen Green, take a couple guys there at 23, 24, and just build our core.
Yeah, I'm totally in agreement with you.
Right.
I think that the best course of action for the Rockets right now is to build, wait another 3-4 years, see what we build from there, have a core, and let those guys grow and mature. I think that for the betterment of the franchise going forward. Now, the Damian Lillard thing, if I'm going to be totally honest, because you followed a lot more than I did, what it sounds like is someone up top of that organization wants to do a quick fix.
Yes.
Now, I know you know where I'm going with this, because we talked about it yesterday with our wonderful, frugal owner,
right.
Tillman. So, I'm just saying, because, hey, for all his faults, we can both admit Damian Lillard is an amazing box office attraction. He's going to bring people to the arena.
He's going to sell tickets.
Sure. He's going to sell tickets. Is he going to be enough to, get us some free agents down here? I don't know.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
I don't think so, because at the end of the day, it matters about winning.
Right.
Only a few teams might get. The Lakers are always going to get free agent talent.
Right.
It's like they just brought LeBron in. But I think with us, we're an attractive destination, but the Rockets have to get some type of success or semblance of success to bring people in, just like with the Dwight Howard thing.
Yes.
Because remember, he was supposed to come here a couple years prior than he actually did. He didn't want to get traded here because he said he wouldn't have signed an extension.
Right.
But it wasn't until we got James Harden, Chandler Parsons, and a couple of those other pieces that we looked like and became a playoff team.
Man, Chandler Parsons fell off as soon as he left us.
Yeah, that's we could do a whole show on that one. But he finessed the Grizzlies though.
Yeah, he got the Grizzlies out of a lot of money.
But at that time, he was still a viable young player.
Was nice.
Exactly. But it wasn't until we got that and made ourselves look like a viable playoff team that were able to bring someone in. Now with Dame in this current team, I don't know.
I don't understand it from a sense of anything. If you're looking at the Western Conference right now, you got the Suns, you got the Lakers, you got the Warriors. Clay's coming back. Right. Just getting Dame is not enough.
No, not
You're gonna have to make some more moves. I give Raphael Stone credit for trying to attract the star to Houston, but take your time, build a team through the draft. There's plenty of players in this draft. You have 3 first-round picks. Don't rush it, guys. I know Damian Lillard, he's a special player, but I think we just need to be a little bit more patient right now as the Houston Rockets.
Absolutely. And I would end it on this question. Take Damian Lillard off the Portland roster as of right now, as it's currently constructed.
Right.
Are they still better than Rockets?
Yes.
There you go. That's the question. So how's are we really going to?
It doesn't add up at all for the Rockets, but I do understand it from a Philly standpoint.
Okay.
I do understand it from Boston, especially Boston. I've been pushing Boston to make this move.
You've been pushing.
I think
you got to get Brad Stevens' number now, man.
I got to get a hold of Brad Stevens, man, because you got Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. I think those guys, similar to C.J. McCollum and Damian Lillard, if you could just make a swap with Dame and Jaylen Brown, I know it doesn't seem even.
Right.
And Boston would have to throw in some picks and some other contracts to make it work.
Yeah.
But, if you're Portland, you get that perimeter defender, you're going to need to go against the LeBrons and the Paul George. You're out there in the West. You're going to need that perimeter defender. Yeah. And if you're Boston, you finally get that scoring guard that you need in the East to come out on top, as you see with Trae Young able to take Atlanta to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Well, that's true. I think that obviously that would be a great addition for Boston. But like I said, from what I heard,
right?
I have sources. They're not reliable or credible, but I have sources. Right. I think that their main focus might be on Bradley Beal. And they were talking about maybe having him in, if not by this offseason, but they might make a move for him by the next year's trade deadline.
Oh, that'd be big.
That'd be a big one too. So I mean, but your idea about Dame, I think that would be a grand slam too, because they still haven't been able to have sustainable great point guard play in a while.
Right, right. And ever since was it Isaiah Thomas?
Well, yeah, they had it 1 year, but I mean like sustained. More than one season, because he just had that average at 29, then he had all the injuries and the personal problems. And
man, that guy, he was a talented player, and it's good. It's tough to see him go like that. So another thing I want to talk about is today is Ray Allen's birthday. Coming up, I was one of the guys that watched, Jesus Shuttlesworth, the movie, and just seeing Ray Allen coming up as a very all-around talented player. Just, your opinions on Ray Allen's career. In my opinion, he's one of the more underrated shooting guards in the NBA, period.
I agree. He is one of the more underrated shooting guards. And up until Clay and Steph, him and Reggie Miller were kind of battling out for that greatest shooter of all time thing.
Okay.
I think he would agree, because he broke Reggie's all-time record, which Steph is going to break. I think Steph's like another year or 2 years from breaking.
He's going to shatter that.
He's going to shatter that record. But
I think someone else will go come behind and shatter Steph's record. This 3-point
You think so?
barrage. They're
Clay?
Clay or Trey Young. Just a minute 3-pointers, they're getting up now.
Yeah.
30, 40, 50 threes a game.
But I'm going to give him credit, because though this is a 3-point era, they are.
Right.
I think they'd be great 3-point shooters in any era, because they just have it in them.
Ray Allen would be a superstar.
Well, I mean Steph, Steph in the 90s, he's just. I don't think he's so much a product of the system. I think Steph was born to shoot from the time he came out the womb, because his daddy was a shooter. But no, going back to Ray Allen, a lot of people he's forgotten, because younger folks, they remember his Celtics years, obviously.
Right.
Then, of course, when he went to Miami, had the big shot in Game 6 that got them tied in 2013. But a lot of people don't remember, he was an amazing 25, 26 point per game guy in Seattle.
And also in Milwaukee.
And Milwaukee, too. He was a perennial all-star in Milwaukee, a great player. Him and Glenn Robinson, those teams.
That was a dominant.
Yeah, coached by George Karl. So, Ray Allen was absolutely, another underrated guy.
Better duo, Rashard Lewis and Ray Allen, or Ray Allen and Glenn Robinson? Better duo.
Well, I know Rashard Lewis got a bigger bag than Glenn did.
Yeah.
And when I mean bag, I don't mean like handles. I mean like money.
Money, yeah.
Because Orlando paid him ridiculous. But I think actually it might have been him and Glenn Robinson.
Right.
But I don't think Ray had really matured into the player he was in Seattle with Rashard.
Right.
Because Rashard could shoot it too. He was an amazing shooter. But Big Dog, he was a real underrated shooter.
Very
real
talented, underrated NBA player. One of the most underrated players in NBA history. Mm-hmm. And moving on, just some breaking news. We was talking a little bit about the Rams yesterday, and Cam Akers.
Yeah.
That's tough, man.
Yeah.
Ruptured Achilles. He's going to be out. I ruptured my Achilles a few years ago. It's a nasty injury, man.
Yeah, you trying to do a slam dunk contest on your own. That's what happened. But
I was just trying to hoop a little bit, and it just when it pops, it sounds like a gunshot.
Really?
Yeah,
I heard that.
Yeah. All you hear is like a pow, and you turn around and think somebody shot you, and then your leg just snaps.
Leg gives out. Wow.
It's tough.
Yeah.
But if for the Rams, man, that's a big loss. He was a big part of their running game that they was gonna have. And
absolutely.
Just how much does this hurt their chances as being a Super Bowl favorite by a lot of odds makers?
Well, I mean, obviously it's going to, because he was a big part of their offense and a big part of what they like to do. And for Stafford, because we were talking about him yesterday, he was going to a team that we thought was complete.
Right.
Great running game, pretty good receiving core, defense is good, got one of the greatest defensive players of all time. So, I mean, really, if we're going to be honest about it, I think that if I'm Sean McVay, I'd probably be more worried if I had Jared Goff still rather than Matthew Stafford, because at least when you look at it, the Rams still have a guy who came from a system where he was throwing the ball 30, 40 times.
That's
when
true.
He said, well, you're going to give me, put me in another position where, hey, I got to throw it 30, 40 times again. All right, I'll do that, because we have to supplant for the injury. So I still have a good defense. I have a pretty good receiving core. So I don't think it'd be too much of a transition for Matthew Stafford, but it does affect what the Rams probably would want to do, because they're not as well rounded anymore.
Right. And just looking at that division, and I was, just going through that division, this is the first time, I think, in my opinion, that I've ever seen a division where I wouldn't be shocked if any of those teams represented the NFC in the Super Bowl. If I told you the Arizona Cardinals represented the NFC in the Super Bowl, would you be surprised?
I wouldn't agree, but I wouldn't be surprised.
If the Seattle Seahawks was to be in the Super Bowl, would you be surprised?
No, I wouldn't be surprised.
The 49ers.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Or the Rams.
No, I wouldn't be surprised.
This might be the toughest division in NFL history. I just never remember a division where every team is a legit Super Bowl contender.
Well, I mean, like I was saying, in the NFC West, there's a lot of good teams, but I could make an argument against about 2 of them. Well, all 4 of them, honestly, because there's still question marks. Nobody necessarily is completely perfect, because now we just talked about the Rams having the issues with Cam Akers missing time.
Right.
You have the Cardinals, which on paper they have an immense amount of talent, but like I said, I'm still questioning and not sold quite on Cliff Kingsbury as a head coach.
I agree with that one. I think that's the only reason.
Still unproven to me.
I was looking at their odds. They're like as the 16th ranked team in the NFL. They have elite wide receivers, an elite pass rush, talented secondary, decent offensive line, decent running game. I can't imagine half of the league being better than the Arizona Cardinals.
No, not
There's only one thing, like you said, is the coach.
It's the coach, and that's a big question. And then we go to Seattle. Seattle, as long as they have Russell Wilson, he's going to play at a high level. But at times, because a lot of other areas they're so bereft, particularly the running game, that's going to be a big question still. He sometimes runs out of gas and kind of has bad stretches because
they need to lean on Chris Carson a little bit more.
Chris Carson? You know what? I when I'm on Twitter, I talk to a couple of Seattle fans that I actually follow and go back and forth with some Seattle Seahawks fans, and they say he's just too inconsistent. Some of them like him, some of them don't.
He runs hard.
But I guess whatever he's doing, it just ain't working. But yeah, I mean, if they could get some good production from it, it's only going to help their chances. Because, like I said, as long as you got a Russell Wilson on your team, you're going to be in the mix.
Right.
And then we go to the 49ers, who are just a couple of years removed from their Super Bowl appearance. Now the only question is Jimmy G, his consistency, or are they going to go with the project guy, Trey Lance?
That's tough. I think you could keep going with Jimmy G.
You think at least this year?
He knows the system. Barring injury, you don't want to throw Trey Lance out there, especially in that division. Has guys like Aaron Donald coming after him, J.J. Watt. You want to get that rookie time to develop, understand the offense, understand the protections, because he's going to need it in that division.
But it's like I said yesterday, when we were talking about Jordan Love from Green Bay. You took him with a first-round pick.
Yes. And
not just a first-round pick, an early first-round pick, top 5 pick.
You're talking about the 49ers?
Yeah, the 49ers.
You traded 3 future first-round picks as well.
He's a big – you put a big investment in him.
Yes.
So he's going to have to be a guy at some point. Jimmy G can't be it forever because I don't even know how old – how old is Jimmy G by now? He should be about 30, right?
He's a little bit over 30.
Okay, yeah. So, at some point, you're going to have to pull the trigger on this thing, just like Green Bay.
Yeah.
So, that's the only question.
For Denver. Just thinking off the top of my head, Denver could pull the trigger for Jimmy G.
They're just going to be looking for another quarterback. I mean, no disrespect to Jimmy G.
Jimmy's pretty good.
Yeah, but he just seems like, and I know it's something's off.
Right.
Something seems to be missing and something's off.
Right.
So, like I said, 49ers, they set a lot aside for this guy. So, who knows? If it's going to be this year or maybe next year. But one thing's for sure, they still have those questions at the quarterback position. That's the main thing. But they're solid everywhere else. And then who else was left? We talked about.
You got the Rams, you got the 49ers, you got the Cardinals, and you got the Seahawks.
Okay. Well, yeah, I think we've been – see, there's questions everywhere.
Yeah,
it could be competitive, but you never know with some – who's going to come out for sure.
That's probably, in my opinion, the toughest division right now in the NFL. Any one of those teams could represent the NFC. And
but can you be a tough division if you also are terrible? Because we're talking about the NFC East. And everybody,
you talking about the Cowboys division?
Yeah, the NFC East because everybody's going to be terrible. Nobody wows you. So, the fact that nobody wows you, does that kind of make it competitive too?
No,
because everybody's it's like fighting.
I think the Cowboys are going to walk away with that division easily. They got the
you're
best
a little too confident for me.
They got the best quarterback by far. It's not even close. I understand, Washington Redskins with that pass rush of Chase Young in that front seven and coached by Ron Rivera. But at the same time, Philly, they're still trying to. They don't know if Jalen Hurts is the guy or not.
Right.
They're still trying to figure that out. And then, like I said, with the Redskins, you got their pass rush, and the Giants. Saquon's coming back. They have made a lot of, they did upgrade in the draft this year. They got another playmaker for Daniel Jones. Can he make that leap? Or is he their guy? Right. So there's a lot of question marks outside of the Cowboys in that division.
And you think Dak, well, keep in mind, Dak is coming off his injury, so we don't know what Dak we're going to get in terms of especially a guy who's predicates a lot of his game on being mobile and running around or planting that foot. There's questions there too.
There is questions there. That's one division. I see the Cowboys easily.
But you got to okay. That's fine. I mean, it's not like I like anybody in that division anyway. But I guess we could roll with your Cowboys. We'll see.
We'll see for sure.
Yep.
And just talk a little bit more about different divisions and division champions. I want to get your pick on the NFC South. That's where your Saints are.
Yeah, I'm aware. I'm aware.
They have about 3 or 4 teams, that can legit. I don't see the Panthers as a threat yet. Until they prove that Sam Darnold is a guy. I think in New York he was what he was. He couldn't change that franchise around. I don't see him turning Carolina around.
No, I'm not a big Sam Darnold fan at all. I never.
Ever since I seen him that clip of saying I'm seeing ghosts, I'm like,
Yeah, that was ridiculous, man. I don't know what he was. Did he think that was going to be profound, or like people going to be like, wow, what a quarterback to be able to admit that something's wrong with him.
He's saying ghosts.
Sound crazy.
He couldn't make the pre-snap adjustments. Couldn't read the coverage.
Yeah, just say that. I just can't read the defense. Don't say you're seeing ghosts, man. You sound crazy. But yeah, I'm not. I wasn't shaking in my boots when I heard that they traded him. Robbie Anderson and DJ Moore, because I seen a couple other Saints fans who was down, on the Teddy Bridgewater hate train.
Right.
Saying, well, he could have did a lot with DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson, and I'm looking at it like, no. Robbie Anderson was in New York with Sam Darnold. He was that. And I'm not. It sounds disrespectful, but I'm going to be honest. Robbie Anderson and DJ Moore are a set of number 2 receivers. That's what they are. They're at best. Yep. So it's not like it's amazing. So you bring in a guy like Sam Darnold, and it just doesn't work. I'm sorry, Christian McCaffrey is going to have to. He's going to have to carry the load again.
Man, he's going to have to carry the load again. If you got the top pick in your fantasy football league, that's the guy to go with.
Yeah, because he's going to get his carries. He's going to get his touches. Unless he gets hurt in week 4 from trying to carry the offense. So,
right, just like last year.
Yeah, that's a big question mark with it. And then so we're running down the division now.
Right, Tampa Bay.
Whatever. Let's move on. No, I'm playing. Tampa Bay.
You heard that news about Tom Brady? He covered up a whole MCL sprain last year.
Oh, good for him.
He didn't even report it. That could be some problems with the NFL.
What a gladiator, man. just swells you up with pride when you hear those things. Well, I mean, here's the thing. Hearing about the injuries after playoffs, whenever playoffs, that's why I wasn't wild when Drew Brees' wife had posted on Instagram about all the broken ribs, all that crazy stuff, because everybody's gonna be hurt.
Yes,
it's a long season. It's a long, treacherous, gruesome season, and a lot of it. Whoever wins the Super Bowl is dependent on the best team, but it also depends on it's a battle of attrition.
Right.
Who could stay the healthiest?
True.
Who's going to make it to that finish line in one piece? So along the way, you're going to get some bumps, some scrapes, some just all out just ailments.
Right.
And a 40-some-year-old man dealing with that, his body's not going to heal as properly as it should, probably when he was in his 30s or 20s. So it really didn't. I mean, congratulations to him, but I know everybody's hurt, man.
Everybody's hurt. Point.
Exactly. So, I'm assuming he's going to be A-okay to go once training camp starts, and the Buccaneers, obviously they're the class. They're the defending Super Bowl champions. They have Leonard Fournette and Ronald Jones, 2 really good running backs.
Talented.
Their linebacker core is absolutely amazing. Defensive line's great. So they're going to be in the mix.
They're loaded when you think from top to bottom of that.
I mean, loaded. That's from an unbiased opinion. They definitely are the class of the NFC South right now. They're going to be the team to beat as NFC champions, Super Bowl champions. So, there's not much to say on that one.
I think the Saints going to upset the division. I think Jameis Winston.
Well, we've won it the last 3-4 years. So, it's not really upset if we just defend this champion. We just can't do nothing once January rolled around. That's why I'm not defending them. I don't know how people trash talking all that stuff. I've been quiet. They done embarrassed me too much. You ain't going to do me like that again.
Well, maybe, and this is not to take a shot at your guy, Drew.
No, take a shot. I don't care. He's retired.
He was in his 40s. He's played in NFL for a while.
Exactly.
Maybe come January, he just couldn't get. He didn't have that same zip. That same zip on the ball as he did, say, in September or early October. But you got a younger guy in Jameis.
Right.
I know there's a lot of question marks with Jameis. I think coming around January, he's going to be just as good as he was in October. I don't think there's going to be that much of a fall off from his quarterback play. And Sean Payton, he's going to call plays tailored to Winston's strengths.
Right.
That was a
tongue twister, man. You got it out though. Good for you, bro.
And it'll be just to see how the offense evolve, and they could give teams a lot of trouble.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of ifs and maybes and what ifs and perhaps, but I'm just gonna take it in. Listen, it's gonna be a year of transition. It's not gonna be easy for him. He's still probably trying to learn the offense. He's been here now. It's going to be number 2 year. But his struggles in Tampa Bay, a lot of it had to do with a lot of turnover and transitions to different systems and stuff like that and offensive coordinators.
Bruce Arians' offense, Tom Brady was turning over a lot lot well.
Yeah, he was.
Very wide open spread offense.
Yeah, but Tom Brady was turning the ball over when he was in New England too. A lot of people. That last year is less than stellar.
Right.
So, but they won it off their defense.
Right.
And their defense is coming back. So that's why it makes them the biggest threat. So, but going back to Jameis, I think everybody said it. As long as he could keep those turnovers down and manage the game and make the smart, timely throws, they'll be okay. My hope that Sean Payton does is, and we've talked about it, stick to that running game.
Right.
Alvin Kamara and Latavius Murray, I think everybody knows Alvin Kamara, but a lot of people don't talk about Latavius Murray and how effective he is with the few carries that he does get. And I think he has to have even more of a workload just to supplant, a new young quarterback coming in. I think we'd be successful that way.
Are they missing Mark Ingram?
No, I'm not. Well, for him to fumble it in a crucial part in the game, pretend like he hurt, because he did that a lot. Just disgusting, man. And him and Cam Jordan got a podcast too.
Oh man,
they probably playing the same time as we are. Not as funny though, I don't think. But
man, I remember Mark Ingram was at Alabama, man. You was not a Mark.
No, I wasn't a fan. Well, I'm not a fan of Alabama, period. So, but what used to annoy me about him, like he just stayed Alabama long after he was in New Orleans. Now, don't get me wrong, I get it. It's your alma mater,
right?
But like he always still posting about Alabama, be on the sidelines with his Letterman jacket and stuff, and it just annoyed me. I shouldn't be annoyed by it, but whatever.
That was his way. And we're going to move on to our next topic, man. We've been talking about the NFL, and coming in, you was telling me a little bit about a WNBA player. You had some breaking news. Yeah.
I didn't know if we wanted to talk about it though, because it kind of like.
Hey, this is the event. This is an opportunity for you to get whatever's on your mind off your chest, man. It's 7 o'clock. So.
I love how you use that to kind of just add a promo to the show. But yeah, it's true. It's the event. What's on our mind. But I just found it just strange. Cappie Pondexter, she's a former WNBA player. I believe she played for the Indiana Fever. And I think she played on the Rutgers team in college that was famously got on that guy, Don Amos, the one who called them nappy-headed hoes.
Yeah.
Can I say hoes on here?
It's cool. You already said it's cool.
Yeah,
you was quoting a tweet. It's cool.
Okay. I was quoting a tweet. But, yeah, my mama going to get me for that one. But, anyway, Cappie Pondexter, a lot of people don't follow her story. The last several months, she's dealt with a lot of mental health episodes.
Right.
One such being where she had went missing for a substantial amount of time. Family couldn't find her. Wow. And then they found, she was wandering or something. She was just in a disheveled mind state. And I don't know if it was today or yesterday, but apparently a video was going around from her IG Live where apparently she had accused LeBron James, basketball LeBron James, of sex trafficking, claiming that he had trafficked her and that he had stole all her money out of her account.
Wow.
Yes.
That is.
Not, once again, those are serious allegations. Serious allegations.
Right.
But keep in mind, this was a person who has dealt with a lot of mental health. And before we got on, I actually seen another tweet someone had posted. Apparently, she had also accused, well, not accused, she had said that Beyonce is her hermaphrodite wife. Yeah. And she stole her money too because she can't get high anymore. So just basically, this was just a story on, just a sad instance of a former athlete dealing with a mental health episode, and hopefully she gets the help that she needs.
I hope everyone in that situation gets the help that they need, and whatever needed to be done,
it was very sad.
It's a very tough. I remember Delonte West. Similar situation.
That Mark Cuban reached out to him and helped him get back on his feet. So that's really a lot of times that's what it takes as well. Right. Someone with enough pull and status to give somebody help.
Help somebody out, especially Delonte West in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
People showing pictures of him I forgot, he made around $50 to $60 million throughout his NBA career.
Yeah.
And there was, pictures of this guy surfacing, being homeless, sleeping under a bridge. And his one of his previous owners, Mark Cuban, reached out, put him in rehab, helped change his life around. Shout out to Mark Cuban, man. That was big props to that, man. That was nothing but love right there.
Yeah. So hopefully Cappy gets the same help. We can hope that. But she was a great player in her day. I think she's in the Hall of Fame, if I'm not mistaken, or like she's going to be. She was a really great player.
Yeah, she was
really great player.
One of the very top. As you can see on that screen, Delonte West right there.
I've never seen it before.
Yeah, man, it was crazy, man. This guy, he played alongside LeBron James on that Cavaliers teams. Played for the Dallas Mavericks. He had a pretty successful NBA career. Just to, see a guy go from the highs of the highs to the lows of the lows, and for Mark Cuban to reach down there in that darkness and be able to bring that guy up, man, that's beautiful, man. I love to see stuff like that.
Yes, sir. Like that. Yes, sir. Hopefully that continues for her.
Yes, so. and Pondexter as well, man.
That's what I said for her, Cappy. Yeah.
Yes, and moving on to our next topic, LeBron James, his stardom is starting to his following from that movie, the Space Jam movie. People are now starting to do comparisons between Space Jam 1 and Space Jam 2.
Of course.
I just the Michael Jordan and LeBron debate, it stems so deep that people are now comparing the movies. Like, come on, man.
I figured that would happen, though. People going to do that. I mean, and I know LeBron knew people were going to do that when he decided to jump on the project. So,
right.
I still haven't seen it, by the way. You seen it?
Yeah, I seen it. I was going to ask you about something, but I can't now. I can't.
I really don't care. I don't
want to spoil it for you.
I don't care.
You got to. It's part of the movie.
Man, you give me the spoilers. I still enjoy the ride.
There was a part where literally I got super excited because they was down. Same kind of storyline. They was getting their butt kicked at halftime, and they down it right.
It made you think they weren't going to win.
Yeah. I mean, we knew they was going to win.
Yeah. I mean, come on, bro.
But they play like the Bulls, dun 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 dun, and you think, and from Chicago, and I'm like, oh snap, Michael Jordan's about to come out, and it's not Michael Jordan. I ain't gonna say who it was, but it wasn't Michael. It was Michael Jordan, but it wasn't Michael Jordan.
Was it Ron Harper?
No, it was Michael Jordan, but it was Michael B. Jordan. I just thought.
I really ain't about.
I thought we was gonna have LeBron James and Michael Jordan team up to take on.
It was Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan.
The one that puts his B in his name. That's great. Now you were scared to tell me that?
Well, I didn't want to ruin it for you, just in case you get to that part. It's kind of a little climactic part, All
right, whatever. I mean, it's all good.
That look says it all, man. Yeah. And it was a good movie, man. The kids enjoyed it. I think it was, it reached the right audience. It has some, good lessons taught in it as well.
I mean, it's just like the first one. It was a kids movie.
Right.
We enjoyed the first one when we were kids. Of course, you with your lovely children. I'm sure they enjoyed it.
Right.
So it's a Looney Tunes. So yeah, it's for them. It's not necessarily for me.
Yeah, it wasn't for us at all. But I as a family movie, it was pretty good to see. And speaking of the Michael Jordan and LeBron James debate, I'm not too big on it. Everyone has their own opinions, right. But I never really just heard you. We had many phone conversations coming. I never really heard you talk about your Michael Jordan versus LeBron James analysis.
But you want mine? I don't have. I mean, okay. Well, so are you meaning like how do I compare them?
Yeah, how do you compare them? Or if you had to start a team, are you one of those? Is Jordan all day every day? Or are you saying, hey, I could go with LeBron and get it done as well?
The strange thing is, I see and understand the arguments of both sides.
Same.
I actually do, because I understand when you look at Michael Jordan and you look at the continued success of 6 championships, multiple MVP. I think he got 5.
Right.
Remaining the best player in the league up until his last season with the Bulls. He was 36 and still All-Star Game MVP,
right?
Regular season MVP, all 82. So, I mean, I understand that, and I understand people who say that LeBron's greater because of his total game, his well-rounded game, his physical makeup and things he can do athletically, despite that physical makeup being 6'8", 250, 260 pounds. So I understand that. I understand when people talk about careers. LeBron has that amazing comeback against the Warriors, you know, or Michael Jordan with the 2 3-peats, going through the Detroit Bad Boys and beating Magic and just beating other Hall of Famers of his era. And then I understand, you know, people downgrade about LeBron. You know, it's like the 2011 finals was something. And I think that a lot of people hold it against him to be the greatest. I think that's one of his more bigger blemishes to people, you know, when they have those GOAT debates. But you know what? I'm not going to get into it because it's going to take too long of a show. So my thing with Michael Jordan is, and I don't appreciate what people do.
Right.
Do you know where I'm going to go with this? 1995. When Michael Jordan came back
and everybody say he wasn't the same.
And he wasn't the same. I've had arguments with people. I actually had an argument with that comedian Aries Spears. You ever heard of him?
Yeah.
He's playing on Mad TV. Washed up comedian.
Yes.
Looks terrible now. Disheveled looking dude. But, you know, that's not the point. Anyway, I was on Twitter and he was basically saying, yeah, if Michael Jordan came back, y'all wouldn't have nothing.
I disagree with that totally.
Yeah, and here's the thing I did. I posted the stats. A lot of people, you can look this up because I didn't make this up. I'm not you know, manufacturing anything for my argument. His stats in the 95 playoffs and his stats in 96. Now, keep in mind, 96 was that 72-10. Greatest team of all time.
Greatest team of all time.
If you look at his stats and you look at 96, I'll let you guess which stats was actually better.
95.
95.
95.
He had better numbers than 95.
That's when he had 55 against New York, right?
Yeah, which is like even more against the argument because when he came back within a week, he had 55, the double nickel. Everybody talks about that.
The double nickel.
So this whole argument of, well, he wasn't himself, he was rusty. A lot of people don't realize even during that time he was playing baseball, he was still playing. He was still running open courts with NBA players.
Yes.
The famous Space Jam Dome in California when he was shooting Space Jam. They were running actual games. He had everybody: Shaq, Reggie Miller, Scottie Pippen, all the great players of that era. They were running pickups and playing games. So it was not like he just had no court time. If anything, he had a better argument. The arguments against him because he probably had fresher legs than everybody else. He didn't even have to play the whole season.
That's true.
But you know, everybody gives this. Oh well, you know, he wasn't. I'm gonna tell you what happened. Horace Grant and Shaquille O'Neal took advantage of the fact they had nobody in the post because Horace Grant. A lot of people don't give him credit in that first three-peat. Horace Grant was the third leading scorer behind Michael and Scottie.
Yes.
He leaves after 94, joins Orlando, and Chicago has nobody. They pretty much have Luke Longley sitting there in the post. 1995, 96, guess what they did? What was the difference between the 95 Bulls and the 96 Bulls?
Dennis Rodman.
15 rebounds a game.
That's a big difference.
A big difference.
And that goes into the point of when people say, well, the 2 championships the Rockets won, if Jordan would have played, the Rockets would never won that. Excuse me, the Bulls didn't have no type of rim protection at all.
Yeah, what do you think? What do you think Hakeem would have did to Luke Longley?
Oh man, I don't even think about that.
And we sounded like homer, and I'm not. But I implore anybody, just look at the numbers. Go look at what
Vernon Maxwell put the clamps on.
Yeah, because I know a lot of the Rockets fans use. Well, we had good regular season against. I mean, we don't know that for sure what would happen. I don't use that argument because playoffs are different from regular season.
True.
But this whole notion about he wasn't himself or he was rusty, it's hogwash, man. It's always been hogwash, and I argue that till my dying day. It's ridiculous. Hakeem gets discredited. And he gets slandered more than the guy who everybody says the greatest and lost. It just can't just be he failed failed for his goal.
Right.
He didn't get it done.
It's like no one puts that blemish on Jordan.
No, because it doesn't follow the narrative. It's just he got a 3-peat. Oh, well, he went and do something else 2 years. Oh, he got another 3-peat again.
Right. And that's all you hear.
That's all you hear. So that's the problem I always had. I'm glad I got this. I won't say nothing about this again. I probably will.
And I'm one of the people that as far as a LeBron James, coming into the league at 18, didn't go to college.
Sure.
For him, every franchise he's played for, in my opinion, the offense has been him. Mm-hmm. In Jordan's career, Phil Jackson kind of was he revolutionized Jordan. He told him, hey, you can score 50 points a game, or you can get guys involved, throughout the rhythm of the game, and you can still dominate the game, and you can be a champion. LeBron never had that.
No, I don't think he ever had a great coach. You're right.
LeBron, he's
in his first few years, no Phil Jackson level.
period for
you don't think
LeBron.
I thought Spoelstra was well. I mean, I guess because Spoelstra was still kind of he was inexperienced at the time.
Spoelstra now, yes, is a very talented, great coach, one of the top 5 in the NBA. But first few years with LeBron, that was LeBron and Wade and Bosh just doing it on a really pure talent.
Sure. But I got to stop. I think the thing, because you said about Jordan was an amazing player before Phil. He was.
Yeah, I'm
going to be fair here.
Yeah.
He was an amazing. He won an MVP, a defensive player, all before defensive player of the year, all before Phil got there.
Right.
What Phil did was what he did more for was get the most out of his supporting cast, particularly Scottie and Horace.
Right.
So I think that's where the Bulls' success came from with Phil Jackson, because he got the most out of everybody around him.
Right.
But I do agree about the point about LeBron. I don't think he never had. But I don't want to say it was just trash. I don't think trash.
He didn't have terrible coaches.
No, I thought he was going back. I mean, he's inexperienced, but it wasn't like he was just a novice. He had been. Spoelstra had been in an assistant coach for years, and he'd been part of the organization under Riley for a long time.
Do you consider Phil Jackson a top 5 NBA coach of all time?
Absolutely.
Do you consider Dean Smith a top 5 college coach of all time?
Yeah.
Do you think that those two guys played a big part of Michael Jordan's career and his success? Being coached by two of the top 5 coaches in each respective.
He's given credit
leagues.
to Dean Smith and Phil in terms of the success of his career.
Right. I just never seen LeBron. LeBron has been him. Has been his knowledge of the game, his athleticism. He's coaching guys out there on the court. He's talking to the young guys. He's never benefited from being coached by Dean Smith or Phil Jackson.
Well, no, he hasn't. And I mean, from that argument and that standpoint, you can say that LeBron kind of had to raise himself. But to be fair, a lot of him growing as a championship player happened, and he acknowledges this when he went to Miami.
He said when
he was in Miami, he really learned how to win and how to be a great player. So he grew and matured into that.
And Desmond, hey, what's up, Desmond? How's it going? And he's talking about nobody talks about them Wizard years with Michael Jordan.
He was 40. Why are we talking about them Wizard years? See what he was 40. We ain't gonna talk about the Wizard years. Okay, we'll see. Well, if LeBron plays until he's 40, then we'll compare then. But you can't talk about them Wizard years.
You have to. It's a part of his career.
No, I mean, but he was 40. That was just a bucket list thing of do I still got it?
It's a part of his resume.
Okay, well, if we're gonna be that, 40. He was still giving buckets, though.
Giving buckets, was an all-star, was a top 25 player in the league.
Okay, but I mean, that's what I'm saying. But I mean, if you go, all right, if we're going to use that, then that probably helps him even better, because he got on after being away from the game 3-4 years, got on and then still showed that he was playing at a pretty good level. He still played at all-star level.
Right.
So if you're going to use that, then it might not be as effective as you're trying to make it. Because I already know where you're going with that. I already know.
He had to throw in the Washington Wizards.
Yeah, I figured he was going, but
he helped those guys.
40 years old, huh?
He helped those guys like the Rip Hamiltons and the Karan Butlers. He
traded them off. That's how he helped them. Rip Hamilton, he got to Detroit, and it was smooth sailing after that.
Yeah, for Rip, that was good for his career.
He wasn't getting the ball.
And appreciate that, Desmond. And this is the event, man. We will love to have more people tune in. Go to Facebook, type in a comment. We'll reply to it as soon as possible. And again, we want to say thank you to Desmond for reaching out. And I was talking about LeBron James just not having a coaching and going through his career. If let's say hypothetically, a lot of people gives him the slack for leaving Cleveland. Mm-hmm. Is that the main reason? Was it the decision? Mm-hmm. That is the reason that people hold that against LeBron? Because I feel like if he let's say he stays in Cleveland, wins championships, does it the way everybody thinks you're supposed to do it, one team. Yeah. Does that change the narrative? Is it the fact that he went to Miami and had to do it and team up that people kind of slight LeBron James for that? Yeah,
I think the fact he left Cleveland. I mean, no, not the fact he left Cleveland. The fact he went to Miami. Yeah, I agree with that. I think I really believe. Because people like to play it. Well, he had the decision and all that stuff and did that to Cleveland. I don't think if he had announced that he was going to the Knicks, I don't think a lot of people would have problems with it. It's just so.
I never thought of it like that.
Yeah. I mean, look at it this way, because the Knicks at that time were in turmoil. They weren't as good of a team. And let's be real. You listen to people talk. they'll never admit it, but a lot of people want the Knicks to be good.
Oh yeah,
they like the people are. I don't know what it is about people, NBA fans. They are infatuated with the Knicks being good. Like
they're trying to push Damian Lillard.
Exactly for no, but that's like just like this year when they finally made the playoffs.
Oh, I heard
people were all over it. So
Julius Randle been balling for a minute.
Yeah, then he was quiet postseason time, but that's a topic for another day. But I really think, and it's sort of there. It's sort of like that thing with KD when he went to Golden State. Right. Not necessarily the fact that you left, because we kind of understand why you did.
Yeah,
but
sure.
It's who you went to, and the whole idea of LeBron going and joining a team that already had a face with Dwayne Wade and kind of just not necessarily. He wasn't going to be the second fiddle, but it kind of looked like a second fiddle move. Like you're joining this guy's team, and now y'all going to be here. And I just think that if he still went to a team where he'd have to compete with his contemporaries,
right,
rather than being one, trying to create this Voltron, then I think it would have been seen in a better light. Cleveland probably would have still been pissed off, but right. Cleveland's already pissed off. They stay pissed off.
And moving on, man. There's just some breaking news that came out in the NFL recently that the Green Bay Packers, they did offer Aaron Rodgers, a 2-year extension, would have made him the highest paid quarterback in the NFL, and he turned it down.
Because it's not about the money.
It's not about the money with Aaron Rodgers.
No, he's I don't know. He just doesn't want to be there anymore.
That's if you have a guy and you can't even if you can offer him the biggest contract and he's still saying no, it's time to move on.
Yeah, but they're not going to. It's Aaron Rodgers. It's the face of your franchise. They're going to play hardball, man.
You drafted Jordan Love in the first round.
Yeah, but it goes back to what we said. They don't believe in him right now. They don't believe it, and that's a bad indication.
That's not good.
If you're not ready to give your first round pick the go, because he's already sat out a whole year.
Right.
So if you still don't feel ready to pull the trigger.
Right.
Yeah, it's not looking good for you, buddy. It ain't looking good for you. So, I don't know. For whatever reason, he just don't want nothing to do with them. If I'm the Packers, and I'm not, but if I am, I would try to make that deal now. Just
this would be time where you could get the most, for
yeah, exactly. Why would you? He plays for you. He gets injured or something like that. He's already 37, 36. What is it, 37, 38? 37 years old. So he's already in the twilight of his career in terms of years. Hey.
I know they've been they've been a back-to-back NFC Championship games. I think they've been 13-3 past 2 years consecutive. So they haven't made that jump. And if you're Aaron Rodgers, you're like, man, we made it to the NFC Championship, and you draft my replacement.
Well, yeah, it was a slap in the face.
You know what I mean?
But you know what? They already made that move. Now it's too late for them to be like, well, hey, we still want you around. Once they made that move, and once they did that, they already said everything in stone, which I wouldn't be surprised if that's a building. He'll probably never admit to it. We'll probably get in, some bookie trying to push 10 years later.
Yeah.
But no, I firmly believe that was a big reason, because it kind of felt like a slap in the face to him.
Right.
So if you're gonna go with that, don't half step it. Go full on board. Stay convicted to what you wanted to do. You wanted to draft this guy. You wanted to make this guy the next stuff for your franchise. Now's your chance to do it. Put your money where your mouth is.
The harp on it, I don't think it was the fact that they drafted him, because in recent interviews, Alex Smith was talking when he heard Patrick Mahomes. He knew Patrick Mahomes was going to come to Kansas City. They kind of, the front office, the GMs, they kind of gave him like, hey, there's this guy out in Texas Tech that's we like him a lot. We want you to take him under your wing. And it gave him, he was a little, competitive spirit. He wanted a starting job, but he still was like, okay, I understand, my career has numbers on it and everything. So I'm pretty sure if Green Bay front office or someone would have came to be like, hey, Aaron, there's a guy we like. You know what I mean? I think he would have been, more receptive to the fact of bringing a rookie in and having him under his wing, other than just finding out on draft day, oh, wait, you guys going to try to replace me after we was one game away from the Super Bowl?
Well, there might be a distinct difference between Aaron Rodgers and the way his ego is set up,
right,
and Alex Smith. I think Alex Smith it's probably more easier to convince him, because he kind of been through that already in San Fran.
Right.
He was like, I've been through this before. I understand, whatever. Man, I'm not saying that's how he thought, but it would make sense if that's what his thought process was. But Aaron, being a franchise quarterback,
MVP,
Super Bowl champion, all that stuff, having his mind feeling like, hey, I'm still at the top of my game. Hey, I can still do it. I can still do it at a high level. I think he, I don't know if he's been quite as receptive to it as Alex Smith was.
Right.
So that's the distinct difference there on that one.
Right. And if you're Green Bay, what are you looking for? Like for Aaron Rodgers, that's like what 2-3 first round picks?
I don't know. They're gonna have for something crazy, I'm sure. Then they're gonna have to. I mean, it's Aaron Rodgers at the end of the day. At 37, 38, 28, whatever. He's a franchise quarterback, and that's what you need. That's what everybody's looking for. And just like we talked about with Deshaun Watson, a lot of teams are going to be, fishing. Somebody's going to make the deal, and especially for Aaron Rodgers, somebody's going to make the deal.
Whoever gets Deshaun Watson, y'all getting
maybe the Packers. Probably not. I'm just throwing that out there.
You know what? That's not a bad idea.
What, a trade for? No, ain't no way.
I know it's hypothetically speaking. I'm just saying like Aaron Rodgers for Deshaun Watson straight up.
Yeah, it'd be perfect for the Packers. I mean, it'd be perfect.
It'd be perfect for us.
But I mean, and I don't even know if Deshaun getting dealt because that stuff is still all up in the air,
lingering and everything going on.
Exactly. So you never know.
So that's a tough decision. Well, and it's already time's up, man. And that's the show, man. This is the event, man. This has got a show about you guys. It's not just us. We want you guys to get more, involved. Tag us on all of our social media pages. We'd love to have you guys on. Also, if you guys would like, we can also have you guys Skype in via Skype, and that's something we're looking forward to do as well. So I'm Gentre Williams. We're going to get ready to wrap this up. This is Darrian Valsin. Thank you guys so much for joining us here tonight. This is the event, guys. You guys have a great night. Peace and love.
Let's go. I'm here to say, face get checked like TSA. This is a PSA. Sports in my blood like DNA. We grinding for the chip like Frito-Lay. And I'm gon' let you know if he don't play. I promise this show will never be a bore. Checking out talent from Sea Keys to North Shore. All the way to North Shore. It'll never be a gimmick. Was at Aldine, now I'm at Nimitz. Kings in the city, we gon' need to wear a crown. You can bet